We are learning new details tonight about that truck driver accused in last week's deadly crash over on the Turnpike in Fort Pierce. And for the first time, video from inside the cab shows the exact moment of impact and how this case has sparked a national debate over immigration and trucking safety. This is really about more than just one bad U-turn. The truck driver accused of causing it is undocumented, licensed in California under a controversial law. And now, new video taken inside his cab shows the very moment that everything went horribly, horribly wrong. Video circulating online shows the shocking view from inside a semi as a minivan slams into the trailer and wedges underneath. Troopers say that driver, 28-year-old Harjinder Singh, had just made an illegal U-turn cutting across the Florida Turnpike in Fort Pierce last Tuesday. The move left his big rig blocking all northbound lanes. The minivan had no time to brake. All three people inside from Broward and Miami-Dade counties were killed. Singh is now charged with 3 counts of vehicular homicide. He's being held in the St. Lucie County Jail with an ICE detainer, meaning he'll be deported after his criminal case. Federal records show Singh entered the U.S. illegally through the southern border in 2018. Records also show he got his commercial license in California. Under a law called AB 60 passed in 2013, undocumented immigrants can't apply for driver's license, even commercial ones. The state argues it's safer to have everyone licensed, tested, and insured. Florida's highway safety director called Singh's actions, quote, shocking and criminal. And longtime trucker Grant Maxey says industry standards need a closer look.
It's been a big problem in the last 5 to 8 years with it. It really is. There's a lot more people that are holding CDLs that cannot speak or read English.
The Department of Homeland Security told CBS 12 News it filed the detainer to keep Singh in custody, blaming California's leadership and licensing policy for putting him behind the wheel in the first place.
Governor Ron DeSantis, Governor, it breaks my heart, and it also angers me. It angers me that this was preventable. This is your old friend Gavin Newsom, sanctuary state protections. He gets a commercial driver's license, can't really even read English, can't read road signs. This was an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah, Sean, you and I have discussed the damage that Newsom's policies have done to California, and that's real damage. But this is an example of those sanctuary policies spilling over into the rest of the country. And in this case, the free state of Florida. And yes, there were 3 people killed by a guy who should have never been in our country, should have never gotten work authorization, and certainly should not have been issued 2 commercial driver's license. But I will tell you this, since this happened, what have you seen? We have the Lieutenant Governor of Florida bringing him back. He's going to face serious justice. The Trump administration immediately, when this came to light, yanked the business license of the trucking company that employed this guy. And Florida, we're going to go after this company, too, because, yes, I blame the sanctuary policies. But how, as a company, do you put somebody on the road who doesn't understand English, knowing what kind of safety hazard that is? So it's a much different response from Florida under my leadership and under President Trump's leadership at the federal government. So it's a big tragedy, but I think the response has been very robust in a good way.
Well, what about the aiding and abetting by, the state of California? Can you go after California?
Well, that's the tricky thing. So if we can, we obviously will seek accountability. But, these states have been allowed to do these sanctuary policies. Obviously, under Obama, it was like a badge of honor for the liberal states. Under Biden, we had an open border. I think to hold California accountable, what you're really going to need is Congress to defund sanctuary states and to reel in the laws that are allowing people to game the asylum system. He came from India, halfway around the world, illegally crosses the southern border, and then somehow makes a bogus asylum claim. That is not right.
You know, I've noticed Gavin Newsom is obsessed now with being on X and trying to pretend to be Donald Trump. And it's actually pretty pathetic. Even Liberal Morning Joe thinks it's pathetic and it's embarrassing. But if they want to keep doing that, I'm fine with it. This is serious business, though. These policies are resulting in Americans being murdered, raped, victims of violent crime. We have known terrorists in the country, cartel members in the country, gang members in the country, drug dealers in the country. And, you know, for 4 years, Democrats told us the border was secure and the border was closed. They all lied. Democrats couldn't stand for Laken Riley's family. They couldn't stand for Jocelyn Nungary's family at the president's joint speech before Congress. What is wrong with this party that they seem more obsessed with the Abrego Garcias and the so-called rights of the illegals over the safety of their own citizens?
Well, look at the governor of California. He's getting cheeky on social media against President Trump. But what's President Trump doing? He secured the border. He's working to deport illegals. He's working on peace agreements internationally. He's focused on cleaning up Washington, D.C., things that actually matter. What is governor of California doing to help the people in Southern California rebuild? They're still on their backs. They haven't rebuilt Southern California after those fires. Wasn't he the guy that was supposed to end homelessness? Didn't he have a plan like 10 years ago he's going to do? And it's obviously been a total disaster. So he's ignoring the problems in his own state in favor of posturing on social media and trying to take cheap shots at the president. He thinks that's going to ingratiate him with some of the far left voters. Maybe it will. But it's certainly not advancing the ball for the people that he's supposed to lead and represent.
You know, obviously, Gavin is looking for the nomination of his party in 2028. Maybe he thinks this is cute. I don't really know. But the facts are the facts. This came out in your debate with him that I had the pleasure of moderating. And maybe he should be focused on his day job, because when you look at the statistics in California, they're not really good for him. I mean, they had fire hydrants in the Pacific Palisades that didn't have water. They had an empty reservoir. If you look at, you know, the highest taxes across the country in terms of sales tax and other taxes like income taxes. If you look at homelessness, if you look at quality of life issue, you look at all these other, you know, things that came up, homelessness, you know, the state is failing dramatically. And you pointed that out in that debate. And you know, the numbers speak for himself. And this guy's playing, you know, Donald Trump's alter ego on social media. It's bizarre. It's weird.
Now, think about it. They have the highest state income tax in America. Florida, we have no state income tax. And people say, oh, well, Florida, you have sales tax. Yeah, we do. And California has a higher sales tax than Florida, too. So not only do we have no income tax, we have a lower sales tax than them. But think about how nice California is naturally. It's one of the most spectacular places in terms of the physical attributes, the weather, and yet they're losing population. You know, it's one thing to lose population from some of the northern states that are really cold and have bad weather. You got to try to mess California up because they have so many things going for them. And somehow he's managed to do it, and the people have fled.
These sanctuary states should be ashamed. There's so many things that are wrong with policies that are causing so much trouble here in America. It's straight up lawlessness in these states, crime everywhere, and illegals being welcomed into the United States. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about this situation. Don't forget to subscribe.